But while I'm doing that, what I want you guys to do is work on this. If you don't have this part done, okay? Oh, not that part. That doesn't matter. This part. I want you to at least try to get to this part. Because, again, not your class. There we go. Because on the 15th, which is what, next Monday, is when we're going to critique this part. So you have a week to get it done, which should be more than enough time. All right, I got 2/3 of it done in class on Thursday. Okay, shouldn't stress you too much. The other thing we have going on right now is the quiz over the reading. That is open. I think I posted it finally on Thursday or something last week. And thank you whoever emailed me and said that they couldn't see questions. The first quiz I posted didn't autofill like it was supposed to, so I did fix it, and I adjusted the due date for that. If you can't see it, it is right here. It should be under quizzes. There's no time limit. It'll keep your highest score. You can do it as many times as you want. I don't think it doesn't show you the correct answers. Okay, it'll just show you that you didn't get it right. All right. So you either need to brute force it and just do it. I think the most options on there are 4, right? But 4 times 10, what? 4 to the 10th power? I guess that's just 40, right? 4 to the 10th? Yeah, it's just 40. Am I doing that math right? 4 to the 10th? What is 4 to the 10th? Yeah, that's what I thought. No, it's not. 4 to the 10th is 1.04 million. That's how many times you'd have to do it in order to get it absolutely right, to brute force it. Right? Yeah, if every question has, there's 10 questions, every question has 4 answers, right? That would be 4 to the 10th. Options. Different permutations. Does that make sense? Okay, great. Sweet. I was like, that's not right. 10 to the 4th is not just 40. Okay, anyway. So that's a lot. So anyway, do the reading, I guess is what I'm saying, right? But this is not meant to penalize anybody. It's not like it's a pop quiz. I'm not trying to get you guys to get stuff wrong. This is more like a study guide. You can do the quiz, open note, open book. There's no time limit, right? So you can find the question and then look up the answer. It's just a study guide. I just want to make you do the work to actually study. Does that make sense? All right. And it's to prep you for the midterm, because a lot of these same questions will be on the midterm in slightly different formats. And there might be short answer on the midterm, not just multiple choice. So bear that in mind. Okay. We have less than a month until midterms. Midterms are that first week of October. And there's no break. So we'll come right back into it when we get back. Exciting. I don't think I have anything else. When you are, oh yeah, here's something I said. When you are building your style guide, your layer structure, if you see mine as I'm building it out, how you group things together should be similar to how you would organize things in your HTML. Okay, so, whoops. We look at this stuff over here, right? This is a little, the layering works, it's kind of in reverse for how you would write it in HTML in terms of the order that it's showing it to you in the layer window, right? My typography is the last section I worked on, but it's the top thing in my layers. If we were writing in HTML, it'd be at the end of your HTML file. But in terms of how I'm grouping things and how I'm thinking about, oops, okay, there we go. How I'm thinking about grouping that stuff together, that's a group, that's a group, that's a group, right? These are all groups. You can see the blue sort of highlighting it there. That's how I would group it in my HTML in order to apply flex to it, to get it to move and be horizontal the way I want it to get my layout to look right, okay? So I will definitely grade and evaluate your layers and how your layers are structured and how your layers are grouped. And that's going to be part of craftsmanship. Okay. Also, we will be building these in HTML and CSS. So you do the work over here, then it's a simple matter of just transposing it over to HTML. Right? Just translate it. So if you've already done all the thinking about how you need to structure it in order to get the layout you want in your style guide, building HTML is going to be easy. Cool? Yeah, exactly.
You wanted so it's like under a color palette, for example, it goes like savage, then tertiary, then primary.
No. This is just that way because it's of how it's organized. Like, I could just move this up here. As I was building it, it puts the first thing you did like that. Like, even this, I could just pull it up here. You know, that doesn't actually change how it looks on here. It's just as you build things, it adds new things on top of other stuff. So that was just sort of automatically how it had been organized. You know, like, you can move stuff around. It might actually make more sense to move stuff around so that it does better reflect your HTML. Actually, that's a good idea.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I would go ahead and reorganize, drag everything in your layer windows that is organized the way your HTML should be organized. That is a really good point. Then it's less confusing. It automatically will build stuff so that whatever you do first in your document shows up at the bottom of your layers. But I want you to reorganize that in your layer window so that it looks the way it should in your HTML. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay. Hopefully people listen to the recording and they know, right? So this is why it's important to listen to the recording, guys. Because I'll say stuff in class that I'm not really going to say anywhere else. Okay. Are there any questions about what you should be working on while I'm figuring out the icon situation? No? Great. All right. Let's get the icon situation figured out. Is this actually the font size I want? Yeah, okay. Great. So I might as well move this stuff around so that it makes sense. There we go. The fun thing too about this, listen to me. A nice thing about organizing this stuff this way is if you go ahead and label your groups, which you should be anyway, right on your layers, you have your built-in IDs and class names. You don't have to sit there and figure them out. If you're like me and you kind of like agonize over what to call your IDs and classes, maybe you don't, I do. This is built in already. Okay. Let's figure out icons. I'm going to go ahead and keep recording. I think Evan's listening in. You don't need to see my email. I don't know why I just showed that to you. What am I doing here? This one? Yes. There we go. Maybe not. Oh yeah, this is one everyone's listening to. Where did the image go? Oh, there it is. Okay, icons. Oh, right, I changed my view. Yeah, okay, so if you're looking at this, this is something I should note to everybody. If you're looking at this style guide example that I have pasted into the description, and you don't see it, it's like cut off, change your view from page view, or print layout, sorry, just turn off print layout, and then it should pop back in there. But you can also go to the link that I've provided of the image. Sometimes it's helpful to have that. You can dump that into XD and just have it open on the side. Should I do that? No, I didn't do that. That can be useful as well. So, all right, let's make my header. I'm just gonna copy that. Bring it down. Make sure your spacing stay consistent. All right. And then let's build our icons. Did I download? I downloaded some, didn't I? I must have deleted them. I did. Okay, let's find some icons. I did link to some resources, so there's like Adobe XD resources here. Oh, that was kind of XD Guru, maybe. Icons. Get it now. Took it for free. Let's roll. I guess we'll just do this. Doesn't really matter which icons you use. You can use whichever ones you want. The reason we bring them in as SVGs is so that we can easily change the colors and the characteristics of them. If you don't bring them in as SVGs, they're very difficult to change. Oh, maybe I did PDFs. I might have done PDFs. I'm trying to think of how. I found some workaround that let me do that. No, I just don't remember what it was. Oh, somebody made them as an XD. Oh, hey, look at there you go. Someone has it as an XD document already. So they should already have built as strokes in the XD document. Very nice. And components already set up. Oh, this is great. So there you go. That would be something to do. Follow. I went to the XD Guru link and found some icons from there, and that included an XD document that has the icons in them. So I don't have to figure out how to get them in there, right? You can just take it. You can have multiple XD documents open at once. What I would do is then figure out which ones you want. Like that is a good selection. That's 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is what, 56? 42, 48, sorry. It's 48 icons. There's a bunch in here. So you could, well, that's a lot. You could grab all these, you could just select them, copy it, and then come over to your other one and dump them in here. Just put them off to the side, somewhere up here. And then what that does is it automatically brings all the characteristics over, so they should show up under your components, which they do, which is great. And then what we'd want to do is snag them from up here and autofill them, or just copy and paste them in there. I wonder if there's a way we can do it easily with the repeat grid. Let's try that. So I'm going to make a square. Let's make a, what are we going to do? Let's go 50 by, oops, 50. I'll lock my proportions to make sure, not 500, 50. All right, lock your proportions so it doesn't change. Make it a repeat grid. Let's drag it out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. And 2. And okay. All right. Get that those are all there. I wonder if we can grab those, copy those. Dang it, probably not. No. Shoot. I was hoping there was a way to just dump them on there. There's gotta be a way to auto-fill those. Okay. Well, when in doubt, ask Google. Why don't my video just tell me how to do it? View transcript. There we go. Don't know. Don't know if that is the way to do it, but let's see. No. I'm kind of wondering about that. No. Just dump it in there? Nope. So what happens if... Well, alright, I'm gonna watch the video really quick.
I'm Howard Pinsky, Senior XD Evangelist at Adobe. With components.
If you look at any, if you watch any like official Adobe stuff about XD, you're gonna see this guy.
It's now available. The sky's the limit on how they're implemented within your design project.
Yes.
Select it.
Okay.
I'll
Show me.
hand the repeat grid button over to the right.
Yep.
And pull out a few cards.
Yep.
Now I'll hop over to Finder to grab some images for both the users and their photos. As you may know, text and images within a repeat grid can be overridden, but changes to other elements sync throughout all entries. However, these components can be overridden. Let me convert a few of these objects. And since this is a repeat grid, I only need to do it once. Now, keep in mind that one of each of the converted components will be the master, which will push changes to all instances. So if you want to ensure that you can override that particular element, make a quick duplicate and then delete the master.
Oh, but
So
that's
now
not.
I have components inside this grid.
That's not what I want.
Select the layers within them.
Okay, never mind. That's not what I want. All right, so you're just gonna have to do it manually, which just means you can get lucky and find some components that are, or some icons that are already set up the way you want them to be. I'm just gonna dump these in here and then we'll space them accordingly. Or you just have to do it yourself. So that's space. I'm trying to remember, is it this way? Not this way. It's not really making a big difference, all the spacing. Shoot. I just thought there was a way to do it so that. Right. Whoa, that's interesting. How do I do that? Oh yeah, group those. Group those. And then grab them? No, still shift set. Group, 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 group. There we go. I did that in order to get even spacing. What did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 6, 7. Interesting. Ungroup these. So depending on the icon set you grab, you might have more or less work to do here. 73 pixels. 74.6. Oh, I see. Those are not. Okay. Ungroup all of these. 6, 7. Snapping does make it easier. Okay. Actually, what am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to repeat a chunk of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. So I have 5 by 5 here. It's 25. I want to do 10 by 10, so I need to repeat this out 4 times. If you end up repeating your icon sets, I'm okay with that. You could build. We probably should just build a set of unique ones though. Grab our contacts. I think there'd be an easier way to do it. Oops. Cousin posting to Instagram. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Okay. 7. Nice. Ugh. Just drag that over. Let's just. So interesting. Can I? No. Okay. That is really. I thought you used to be able to do that. You used to be able to take like a whole thing of icons and dump them in here and make them into a grid. Ah, but you can't. That's frustrating. It's really frustrating. It's gonna be right there. gde382. Syntype. I think symbols. All right. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's useful. Yeah, that's useful. Yeah, that's useful. Yeah. No, that's what? I know this this video is going to be really useful. I'm dumbfounded because I'm fairly certain I've gotten this to work before.
Is the sketch feature that you think you remember?
It might be a sketch feature that I'm conflating.
Hey there, in this video,
Hey there!
rename this.
Nope. Okay, that's what I want.
Do again. Do that. Okay. That's very cute. Okay, now back to the beginning. Now back. All right, so
Oh god, dude.
what do? Basically, you make it, right click it, say ungroup symbol, and now
How old is this? Oh. Because I think what they did was... Yeah, they got rid of symbols and turned them into components. But I thought it was the same. Man, that's frustrating. That's really frustrating. You have to do all of that manually. Oh, that's irritating.
Why would people want that? Why would people like want that?
To be able to do as a repeat grid?
Or no, to what they changed it to? Because I'm
I
sure
don't know.
they made that change based on user feedback.
Yeah, or I don't know. Sometimes they turn stuff off because it breaks other things. You know, so it's something they'll bring back eventually, but I don't know. I really don't know. It is frustrating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, one quick way to do this, it would be like, you know, you get them all and you get them all and they're already set up as components. You can just grab all of your components and dump them in here, like I'm gonna do, which is like, it should show me it's 324 components, so I'm going to undo that. Let's grab like half of those. How many is that? 218. Undo that. I'm just hitting escape to undo it. 182. Escape. Look, grabbed 100 exactly. How lucky did I get? So dump 100 in there, right? And then just find like your 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. Zoom in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. So there's 10, and then move them up. And I would go ahead and group it. Grab your next 10, which they're all lined underneath there. Group them, grab them over, snap it. You can kind of see here. Oops. It's 11. Let's come down and do 10 in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is much faster. Now I don't even have to count anymore. I'm just dragging them and dropping them because they're all lined up. And then I'm just making sure I space them by 10. And grouping that line. And coming and grabbing them again. Oh, now it's off my board here. Done. So this will actually go a lot faster. If you want to make sure you have unique icons for your entire set of 100 icons, this is a faster way to go. It's still dumb that the repeat grid doesn't work. It should work. I'm really irritated that repeat grids do not work with SVGs. They should. I just thought of an even faster way to do this. Open up your SVGs in this program. Grab your 100, change the color, change the colors and export them individually as PNGs, and then dump those PNG folders onto a repeat grid that you made. I think that would be a fast way to do it as well. I don't know. Either way, who knows which way is faster? That would be one way. So this is the way to do it, and it's really boring and manual. I'm just making sure. I'm just doing my 10. Oh, interesting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
They
9.
might have gone off.
Maybe. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I haven't been grabbing 10 each time. They're off a little bit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've been grabbing 11 each time. Oops. Shoot. Okay, so let's ungroup all of these. Ungroup them, grab these. Okay. All right. So, reasonably certain that I am 10 pixels there and 10 pixels here. Cool. Everything looks fairly aligned. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Okay. Now, if you do want more space between these elements, you can select them all and then grab the corner and hold Option, and that will give you more space in between them. If you hold Option and Shift, it constrains to square, which I just messed that up a little. Oh, you see how it's moving them around like that? It's actually not giving me equal spacing between all of them.
Why are you doing that?
I don't know. That is weird. So let's group the whole thing together. Let's ungroup it. Then I group that. I'm going to group these all into vertical columns now, so I can distribute them horizontally, evenly, and then we will ungroup that and then group them into rows so that we can distribute them vertically. This is about the spacing I want. So I'm going to grab all these like this, hit distribute vertically, or horizontally, I mean, and then you'll notice that it's not the right way this way, so we'll highlight everything, ungroup. This is why repeat grids are much better, because you can dynamically mess with the spacing. Man. I'm going to do this method, and then I'm going to do another method that I just thought of, and we'll see which one is faster. I'm going to say my thought is the other method is probably faster. Okay, so those are all distributed. Oh, okay, so if I group them into rows or columns instead of keeping them individual, they keep their spacing. Now the spacing is even. So I'm going to line, I'm just using those squares as kind of bounds here. Move them in the middle there. It's close. Very close. Okay, that works. All right, cool. So that's that group. Now what we can do with these is now we can turn it into a repeat grid and drag it out, and you'll see that it does do the grid, and then we find where the spacing is. And then bring the grid down. Just try to remember where your spacing between your groups are. There we go. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Ungroup it then. So now you have individual groups. And then in these individual groups, if you hold your shift key and drag the big group out, you'll see it's increasing the spacing in between everything to fit the dimensions that we want to fit here. Those are 113, 133. So let's grab all these groups again. Hold shift and drag from this corner. Getting closer. 13, 18. 13, 15, 16. Okay, we're almost there. 1, 2. There we go. Now we're aligned. We should be aligned. Yep, cool. Now we're in the middle. We got our 113. Our width is 787. That's something to remember. Okay. Spacing here is a little off though. Let's go 40. Is that what we're doing? No. What do we do here? That's right on top. What do we do here? 23. We'll call it 40. Okay, so I did my 2 sets. Now the one thing about this that we're going to have to kind of play with is when I select all of these, they're all going to have different characteristics in terms of colors. Like these SVGs are going to have different strokes. And you'll know they're not all the same because we have a little minus slash here, and that means that most things have this characteristic, but not everything shares this characteristic. So I'm going to just like select a few things and kind of looking at some of these and saying, okay, what has this characteristic? What doesn't? Okay. One thing you can do is you can grab that group and come in and change your color and see what changes and what doesn't change. Looks like everything changed. Oh, that's good. Nothing got broken with that. Cool. All right. Let me look at my image here. So I did yellow, green, and then red. So let's do that. Pick you should have already saved your colors from up above, but if you didn't, you should do that. Go back up. I didn't save my green. You can see that. So I'm gonna go back up to the top, grab my green, come down to my fill, hit plus, come to my orange, my fill, hit plus. You can rearrange these in here. Grab my red and drop it there. Got my colors. So we'll do green here. Oops. Yeah, we'll do green there. We'll do red here. Okay, now these are difficult to see, to say the least. So you can drop, like I did, you can drop a square or rectangle, or sorry, yeah, square underneath there. So I would just draw it where it needs to be here. So let's go 9. Select it. We'll take off the border and change the fill to one of our colors, and then you can send it to the back like that. If you want, you can make it super dark. Whatever you feel like here. And I'm just going to make sure that it is centered in my icons. And then I'm going to copy it and place it here. And maybe also behind my red ones. Yeah, whatever you feel like. It's up to you how you want this to look at this point. Maybe that's too dark for your tastes. Maybe you think it should be like a red. Oh God, don't do that. Okay. Whatever you think it should be. I'm kind of okay with that. Does that make sense to everybody though? How I did that? I know that was sort of a long brute force way of doing it, but it's a way to get it done, I guess. The other way that I was thinking about is you can export all of these. Like you can do an asset export. So if you go like mark, so select that and then go mark for export. But that's obviously not everything that we need. So let's create a new artboard in here, and then I'm going to grab again. Try to grab a bunch. This doesn't matter this time how many you grab. 211. So it dumps them all as a row. Oof, yeah, okay. Let's drag our artboard all the way over. Select all of these. Mark for export. And when you mark them for export, what that does is it means that when you can come up and export them very easily as like a batch or like selected, either one of these. So if we hit like selected, it's going to ask us what format do we want to make them, what are we exporting them for, etc. I'm going to I'm just doing this to find my dump in here. Do I already have? Oh no. Okay. We'll just dump them in here. Oh, that's a website I built. I'll dump them in here. I'll make a new folder called XD exports. Yes. Okay, so we're going to dump them as PNGs first. So like these are going to be black PNGs. Hit export. Okay, puts them in there. Then we're going to change their colors. We'll say red. Come on. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot of icons. All right, make sure you have them all selected again. Export. Selected. See, now notice that I dumped them all in there, and they're all individual PNGs, right? Okay. Make a new folder, call that red. Dump them in the red ones. Change their color to green. Just follow this process. See, this is a little faster, actually. Come on. Export selected. Go back out of the red folder. Make a new folder, call it green. Dump on the green ones. The only downside to this is that you're not including the actual SVG in the XD document, right? You're including PNGs of the color. So if someone were to use this down the road, they wouldn't actually have the SVG to use. And SVGs are much more versatile for icons on websites because they're infinitely scalable and you can change the colors really easily, whereas PNGs aren't. If you do include your icon set in the document, though, I'm okay with that. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Okay, I did green, black. We did red. Let's do an orange. Just gotta think about it. All right. Export selected. Come back out of your green. Go in orange. Export. Okay, sweet. So once you have those exports done, something you can do, I'm gonna grab these, I'm gonna group them, and I'm gonna come to layers, and we're going to call these icon set. Let's call it icon set SVGs. We didn't group any of this stuff together yet, did we? Icons. Let's drag it down to the bottom. Open that up. Drag this where we want it. Okay, then I'm gonna hide that set. All right, then we can make our squares that we want. Over here, we'll call it 50 by 50. Let's lock it. No. 50 by 50. Lock. Okay. Make this a repeat grid. It's too bad you can't just like type in the number you want after you do the repeat grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 6. Oops. 10. All right, so we have those. Let's find where we just dumped all our stuff. XD exports. Okay, let's make a black folder here and dump the rest of these in the black folder. Okay, so now I have my folders, right? I've got my, oops, I've got my my grid here of these. Now, if I ungroup this, well, actually, let's do the repeat grid first. So let's dump our black ones on there, or not. Dump our selected ones on that one. It should auto-populate. Great. It fills it and auto-populates it. One thing I didn't do when I did these is I didn't scale up my SVGs to the right size. So that's why they come in all pixelated. And then the characteristics I have set for the grouping, it has those borders. So to avoid that sort of pixelization, you need to, when you export up here, see how tiny these are? Grab all of these and scale them up. Yeah, these are half the size they should be. Half the size I want them to be. So select that, lock your dimensions, scale it up to what you think you want it to be. Okay. So now, oh yeah, God. And then it messed up my spacing too. So what we can do is grab all of these again. Let's make our board a little bit bigger. This should work. Grab them all and then distribute vertically. No, it didn't work. Okay, let's do this. Grab your first one and your last one. Drag those way out. Oops. Okay. When you use your distribute vertically, you have to just put your first and your last where you want them. There we go. Oof, they're still tight. Put your first and your last where you want it, and then go from there. You can actually just move your last out too. Honestly, I don't think this matters that much because when you export, they're going to export individually. Anyway, they're the right size now, which is good. How big are you? Yeah, 50-50. Okay. All right. We're just going to do one of these to show. Export selected. Let's override our orange. Oh, that's where we were. Yes, replace. Okay. Come back down here. Go to your Finder and your orange. Select everything in this folder. Dump it on your, oof, if you can see it. There we go. Boom. And the quality is a lot higher because we matched the size. Does that make sense? That workflow for everybody? It's like, sure, I don't know. Okay, so it does that, and then you can, because these are in a repeat grid, you can come through and make sure that your sizing is correct. If you get one done, what you can do here is, it's too bad you can't make a repeat grid of your repeat grid. I'm trying to think.
Didn't you just duplicate it?
Yeah, I was just trying to decide if I wanted to be able to do my spacing, but I think interactively between the two grids. But I think this would be the way to go. So yeah, then the next one would be your black, but you'd want to make sure that you export your black at the right size. Okay. Black. I'm asking it to do way too much now at this point. There we go. No, I just want all of these. That is actually a little faster, isn't it? It just doesn't give you the versatility of having SVGs built into it. Thanks. Fuck. Select everything. Every computer freak out. Because you're asking me to do a lot. Okay, so that's how you can do that. One thing about this is, you're going to need to ungroup it if you want to change the spacing between the two. Like if you want to change your spacing, well, actually no, you don't. No, I'm doing this. Let's change this spacing to like, you can do your math and figure it out, or you can just sort of like look at it and figure it out. What am I doing here? 27 split 30. 30. And then we'll just move this guy over. Lined up. And then we just duplicate, drag these down until we get kind of even spacing. Spacing here. 48, 21, 41, 21, 38. This just gives us equal spacing. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. That's cool. But once you have your color sets up, you can ungroup them and then just do what we did before and hold shift, and that will change. Well, it changes their size. That is changing spacing. Makes them a little bigger. Anyway, until you get them exactly spaced the way you want them to. So, two different methods. One is manually building one grid with SVGs and then duplicating that grid and just changing your stroke colors. The other one is selecting all of your SVGs that you've brought into the document, exporting them as PNGs, and using repeat grid to help to autofill a 10 by 10 grid. Whichever way you want to do it. It's better to have your SVGs in the document, in my opinion. So I would rather see the SVGs in the document, built into the document. But as far as like the guide goes, these can be PNGs. I would be okay with that as long as your SVGs are included somewhere as components on their separate artboards, which is probably easier. This is probably easier to do if you're not building these SVGs by yourself. Okay, which you should not be building them by yourself. Don't sit here and draw 100 different icons for this project. That's an assignment for GD1 and GD2, not for this class. Okay, there are a billion people out there who have already made icon sets that you can use. All right, cool. Are there any questions over that method? I know that was really long-winded, but no? Those two different methods? Okay. Either way works. I'm going to stop the recording here.